I noticed, like, as I was going into college that there wasn't a organization for Indigenous students. I noticed that there was one for like Latinx students and Black students, but there wasn't one for like Native Americans. And I've always had that community growing up, especially like in high school. Even if it was like informally, I always had that little group that I could always go back to. So I kind of wanted to have that same thing in my college experience too.
Ruthie is just this phenomenal student who came to us a few years ago, and from the very beginning we knew she was going to have a huge impact on our campus. She arrived at St. Norbert College already recognizing ways that we could improve, which is what we love to see from our students. We like to partner with our students and make our entire community better. So Ruthie came in and she created the Council of Indigenous People to give our Native American students a place, a community where they could kind of come together and share their experiences.
There's a land acknowledgement statement that we have at St. Norbert, and that's kind of just become a common thing through like a lot of universities. SNC acknowledges that they're on the ancestral home of the Menominee Nation, and then I always felt like there wasn't enough. You know, like a statement is like a great place to start, but I wanted to have more like a physical and visual representation of that statement. And so I worked with a Menominee elder to come and like speak the Menominee language, and we had to get approval through the Menominee Nation to get the flag, and they put up a new flagpole and everything, and then we had a ceremony for it, and we had a drummer, and I was the first one to like raise the flag, so it was like super exciting.
I think more people in our community recognize and acknowledge that we're on Menominee land, and not only are we acknowledging that and honoring them, but we're remembering the history that's behind all of that. And I think that's had a huge impact on everybody at the community.
Since I'm from the Menominee Reservation, you know, that's always been a big part of my life. So I wanted to have that there and connect with potentially other Indigenous students and just be friends and learn together, like reconnect with our Native identity and like educate the campus too on Indigenous culture, Indigenous issues and rights. I'm kind of stuck in my bubble, usually at St. Norbert. I feel like there I'm a force to be reckoned with, but I didn't realize that my work has gone so locally. I was like surprised, and it was kind of nice, you know.
In order to recognize where we're going, we need to know where we come from, and we need to be able to show that we don't take it for granted, that the ancestral land of the Menominee Nation is part of who we are, and their history is part of who we are, and we need to recognize that and carry that forward, especially for the students who are part of those Indigenous populations. You know, we need to honor them and their contributions to our community.
For me, anytime someone asks me about leadership, I always imagine someone that's like loud and like in your face, but that's just like not who I am. I feel like ethical leadership is more, you know, making sure everyone's okay with what you're doing, and you don't want to be too overbearing, too powerful. Just being kind of like a quiet leader, if that makes sense. I think it's been like a really positive effect. I think one of the main things that I've always wanted to do with the Council of Indigenous People is to just, you know, raise awareness for it. And I think that's really been what we have done. I think a lot of people are just generally more cognizant of Indigenous peoples and Indigenous rights. And just based on conversations, I know people are really grateful and thankful for the work that I've done. I think that's a big indicator of the success we've had.
Ruthie is a force. She's been at our college for only 3 years and has already made huge amounts of impact, changing our college for the better. And it's ongoing. We can't wait to see where she goes next, because we know that if she's made this much impact in just a few short years at the college, that she's going to do wonderful things in the future, and we can't wait to see it.